We're now welcoming UCF coach Johnny Dawkins to the dais. Coach, when you're comfortable, if you can get us started with some general comments.
Well, for us, we're excited to be, in this conference. I'm excited to be, taking my team on this next journey. And, I believe in our guys. I think our guys are working really hard. Practices have been competitive. We have 10 new players. They're mixing real well with the players that we have returning. And we understand that we have to earn everything. And, going to a new league, we have to prove ourselves. We have to earn everything that we do. And it starts with what we're doing in practice. Our guys are having to earn everything there as well. So that's what we're doing. And I think our continued growth will be because of that and taking one step at a time.
Okay, remember to raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. Give us your name and your affiliation. Got Coach on your far left, Coach.
Danny Davis, the Austin American Statesman. Johnny, for those of us who may be unfamiliar with UCF, could you explain kind of what UCF basketball is and what your calling card is?
Well, our calling card, if you look at us over the last 7 or 8 years, we've been one of top defensive teams, top 100, top 50, around 3 of my 7 years there, and top 100 probably more than that. So our calling card is we're going to defend and we're going to rebound. I think it starts there. If we're going to have any success in any league, especially this league, we're going to have to be a really good defensive team and a team that understands the importance of rebounding the basketball.
Got another one on your left, Coach.
Good morning, Coach. Eric Henry, 24/7 Sports. I wonder if you could just talk about the loss of I.T. Horton a bit, and on the flip side, who are some of the guys that may be in line to replace him?
Well, absolutely. Losing Ithiel, he was a terrific young player for us. He had transferred in, played 1 year with us. Really good shooter of the basketball, really good competitor. He's going to be missed. We were able to, in the transfer portal, find some players that we think can come in and contribute as well, like a Jalen Sellers, who's coming in our program as well. So we'll miss Ithiel, and I think we were able to, obtain a young man that will come in and continue to help us grow in our program as well.
Go here to the middle, about the fourth row back.
Hey, Coach Isaac Trotter with 24/7. What are the traits that you look for in the portal when you're recruiting a guy, knowing he has to go get some of this Big 12 length and athleticism?
Well, I think it's important when you're looking in the portal to do your homework. You need to find players that fit your style of play. You can't just grab talent. I think you have to look for character. When you bring in new guys into your locker room, that's very important that you bring the right guys. The pieces have to fit. And so we're looking for character, of course, talent, but it has to make sure it's the right fit for us. And I think that's something that we've looked to do. I think our staff has done a very good job of finding young men that fit that role for us. And we've been able to build through the portal, over the last few years.
Coach on your left in the second row.
Nathan Geese, Lubbock Avalanche Journal. When you're looking at the transfer portal, you're also trying to bring in freshmen. How do you strike the balance of where you need to go find those players to build out your program?
Well, I'm a big believer in balance. That's a great question. And for us, I think you have to have freshmen in your program. I don't want freshmen to get lost in this new world of basketball. These are opportunities for people and their families. A lot can be first generation of young men who are getting a college degree. So we're always going to make sure we have, freshmen in our program to balance out the transfer portal and guys that are in our program. And I think it's great for your locker room as well. I think when you have that mixture of young and old, I think you have a better locker room because, guys understand the importance of growing and the progression of what you have to do to become a great player from freshman through a senior year. And that starts, with our young guys. And so we're always going to bring them in. We're always excited about them, and we want them to stay with us for 4 years.
Okay, we got two in the middle, Coach. First one next to the last row here in the middle.
Hey, Coach, Sean Walker from KSL in Salt Lake City. When you got into this business a couple of years ago, did you ever imagine you'd be in a conference that goes from Orlando to Provo, Utah? And just what does kind of the national nature of the Big 12 sort of mean to UCF, do you think?
Well, it's a national brand. When you think of the Big 12, you think of, unbelievable basketball, as I mentioned before. I think the last 7 out of 10 years has been the best basketball conference in the country. Last year, I believe every game that was played was pretty much a quad one game, which is unheard of. So, in the nature of our sport, conferences no longer having borders. This game is going from coast to coast, and that's the way it is. And so I think we have to lean into that, understanding that conferences are going to, be larger, You're not going to be able to look at regionally, and that's okay. There are ways to be successful in that new arena, and then we're, as a program, we're going to try to find a way to be successful in it. But I'm excited. I love what I see in the Big 12, and we're very grateful to be in the conference.
Okay, let's go here in the middle, in the back.
Coach, Blair Kirkhoff with the Kansas City Star. Can you tell us a little bit about Shamari Allen, who played just down the road here?
I love Shamari. Shamari is a leader, hands down, one of the best leaders I've had, over the last several years, and he's only been here for 4 months. He's left an impact with every one of his players and me as a coach. He has a great way about him, of getting players to rally around what he's doing, what we're doing. And so, I've really enjoyed coaching him. He's going to be a terrific player on the court. But the best thing that he's provided for us is he's brought a real good leadership into our locker room, and that's something that every coach loves to see.
Okay, we've got two here in the middle. First one on the third row.
Yeah, Coach, Kevin Sweeney from Sports Illustrated. Having Taylor Hendricks go in the top 10 of last year's draft, how much has that helped you guys in recruiting, this summer and fall, as you guys have been able to sell that to kids of, hey, we can get you to the league quickly?
Well, definitely. Taylor, going in the lottery has helped our recruiting, but also going to the Big 12 has helped our recruiting. The fact that we're, in a Power 5 conference, like I said before, the best basketball conference in the country, has definitely helped our recruiting. And then Taylor Hendricks, having gone as a lottery pick, has enhanced it as well. So I think both things happening at kind of around the same time has definitely given us momentum, on the recruiting trail, and something that we're going to continue to try to pursue.
Got another one here in the middle, Coach. I'm about the fourth row back.
Coach, Pat Rooney from the Boulder Daily Camera. With the conference realignment, much has been made about West Coast teams having to travel to the East multiple times a season, but I'm wondering, are there any concerns of yours regarding travel for your team, particularly next year, making multiple trips to Arizona, Utah, Colorado, within a few weeks of each other?
Well, there are challenges, definitely, because of, the distance. But, having played in the Pac-12, coached in the Pac-12 for 8 years, the thing I saw was that, you have to strategize how you go out on the road to accomplish that. So obviously, if you're going out to play West Coast teams, similar to the NBA, similar to the Pac-12 when I was there, you may have to just play multiple games before you return. And I think vice versa if they come east. And, to go out to play one game, at Utah and come right back, but you may have another game that you're going to play, against BYU or somewhere else. So why wouldn't you just go out there and maybe stay and play both games and then return? I think it'd make the trip more efficient. And we did that in the Pac-12. Of course, I played in the NBA. That's how we would travel. So you have to find ways to be successful in how you prepare your travel plans. And if you do that well, I think it gives you a chance to be competitive.
Okay, we're going to be here in the middle, Coach, on the second row.
Andy Mitz, Blue Wings Rising. What is it like for you and your program and your players being able to come to the Big 12 and play in a lot of his historic stadiums?
That's great. I love great basketball. I love playing in amazing environments, and everyone in the environments in the Big 12 is like that. So I think, it brings the best out of everyone, players and coaches, when it's that type of competition, that type of environment with students and fan support. So I think it's great. I think it's going to help us become better because every night, you will never take a night off. Every time you step foot on the floor, you're going to be in an amazing environment. And if you don't show up, it's going to be an embarrassing night. So you have to come ready every time you step foot on the court.
Okay, we've got time for maybe one or two more questions. Anybody interested? Okay, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.